Welcome to This Week Health Insights, where industry leaders invest in your career. No. We learn it at such a young age. It's probably one of the first words we learn as a baby, yet many healthcare leaders falter because of an inability to say no. In this video, we're going to hear from David Muntz on how to say no without ever really saying no. Project governance is your friend in health IT. Let's have a listen, and I'll be back in a second to talk about it.
So we want to replicate your success over 180 project go lives. What would you tell us?
Sure. I would say, it really gets down to demand management. No matter what else you're doing, you have to have a very strong governance process.
So you're controlling the funnel.
Exactly. And part of the reason for governance is not just to control the funnel, but to get the people engaged. And so I never led a governance committee. I always would set it up, do all the work that had to be done, take care of all the administration, but the people who populated those committees were all from the operations side. And we would always have a president who had some sway at one of the hospitals chair the committee. And interestingly enough, IT had no vote on any of the prioritization or project approvals. And the idea was the operations is earning the money, the operations is doing the clinical work. Operations should make the decision about what the priorities should be and the order in which things should be done. Our job was to talk about what made sense, and there are some dependencies there, but having brilliant people working for you, as I have enjoyed my entire career, is the key. But I can't tell you how powerful it is to ask people what they want and then let them make the decisions. The challenge we all have as IT people is that when I did surveys of people who had the same kind of discipline that we did and were tracking numbers, the lowest demand to supply ratio was 5 to 1. And people were sometimes at 16 to 1. So the idea is you cannot, there's an old, and I attribute this to coach, no coach ever said this, but it sounds like something a coach would say. And I used to tell my staff all the time, you need to focus on this. We can do anything, we can't do everything. And you have to be able to say no. And you don't create a backlog in that process. You say, what I'm going to do this year, and I'm going to ask you again in another year what you want to do for the next 18 months after that, so that you don't have this heavy weight on the staff of IT or the organization. And because things change, as you know, every day in healthcare, and priorities will shift from year to year.
I love that. We can do anything, but we can't do everything. You have to be able to say no. The so what for this video is obvious. What are your mechanisms for handling the pipeline of projects? The health system's appetite for projects are limitless, but the resources are not. Two things about this. If you find yourself saying no to projects, you may want to rethink your approach and find a way for the organization to prioritize their work based on a set of parameters for workload that you provide. You don't get to say no forever. Eventually that will catch up to you. The second thing is that governance shouldn't be an afterthought. Governance is one of the most important tools in the toolbox. Get the governance right, and a lot of the problems will take care of themselves.